Don't just live for tomorrow, or just live in yesterday. Just be glad for all you have that's in today.
Hey everyone, Connie here, and welcome to my blind reaction to Higurashi no Naku Koro ni Gou, episode 2. So, you may be wondering if you haven't seen the other video where episode 1 is. Well, let me explain real quick. I was not originally going to react to this series. This was a series I was going to watch on my own time because I've seen the original Higurashi many times and I thought this was going to be a simple remake. I watched the first episode reaction alongside Rough Senpai. I watched his first episode reaction. And it was what you would expect from Higurashi. Especially from a first episode of a remade series. And it was good. Nothing amazing or groundbreaking, but it was good. I enjoyed it. And then episode 2 came out, and so I was gonna watch his reaction to episode 2. I started it, and like just a few seconds in, I realized that there was something different here. Like notably different, that threw everything off from it just being a normal remake. And I went into the comments on his video on YouTube real quick, because I had been watching on his Patreon for the full version. But I went onto his YouTube to check the comments, and everyone on there was saying, without spoilers, that this wasn't a typical remake, that this was more than that. And because of that, I decided this is probably something I want to react to. More along the lines of something like Digimon Adventure 2020, it's going to be changing some things very notably. And so it's something that I would probably want to record my thoughts on in that way. That I would want to have you guys see what I thought of it as I'm reacting to it. So, as I put in the first video that you will see on the Higurashi Go playlist, which was a review of episode 1, but also explaining that we are actually actively putting in a new reaction slot for this series. Now, I do want to say that after we finish this, that reaction slot will most likely go away. Like, this slot is specifically made for this series and everything. And unlike Digimon Adventure 2020, this is probably going to be a lot shorter of a series. Like, Digimon Adventure 2020 can last longer because it's probably going to adapt a good amount of content. Even if it just adapts the entire Adventure 01 series, it still has a long way to go for that. But with something like Higurashi, it's like, even if it adapts everything from the original series, it's still not going to be that long. But if it's not even a regular, like, remake and everything, that it might not even be that long in the first place. So yeah, I'm expecting probably around 24 episodes. I don't think it's gonna be as low as like the 12, 13 episode count, but you never know. I'm expecting more 24 to 26. But yeah, we're doing this for now. If we need to change things with the schedule and everything in the future, we can adjust it as we need to. But we're trying this out for now, getting another slot for this series, because I really want to react to it at this point, and I don't want to wait, because people have been talking about the series. So yeah, I guess it's just a good time with it coming out during the fall season this year, because Halloween and everything, and people are starving for any kind of fun this year. So yeah. We're going to hopefully enjoy this. Um, and as I get into the reaction, as it starts, I will tell you exactly what caught me off guard to such a degree that it made me want to react to this. I'll let you know right away. If you have not seen the original Higurashi, I won't go into details, but I'm just going to like say like very briefly, like, oh, this threw me off, and this is like helping start to prove that something's different here. Um, that's all I'll say with that. But I'm very interested to see where this goes because, as I said, I saw the original Higurashi many times, and I really enjoyed it. I still enjoy it. And yeah, I can't wait to see where this goes. So we're just going to get this started. So when the screen fades to black, pause this redirect and go to the description below. Follow the link to the reaction, and after you watch it, come back here to the redirect and resume play. Because after it fades to black, then fades back in, everything from that point forward will be my afterthoughts and will contain spoilers to the reaction. So, that being said, thank you so much for tuning in, and I will see you at the reaction. And we are back, and we'll begin with spoilers in 3, 2, 1, now. So, I know, like, during the reaction stuff, I was saying, like, a bunch of stuff that, like, was hinting at what had happened in the original and stuff. I apologize for anyone who's new to the series and everything, but it's like, that's probably just gonna slip out from time to time. Just because I have seen the original series so much, like, I remember so much about it, and it's like, I'm going to make comparisons to it, and I'm going to, like, especially with the way this is clearly being presented, there's parts of it that I'm going to question. There's parts of it with this clearly being a sequel that I'm going to really like ask about, like wonder how this is all working and all. So it's I'm going to probably mention that from time to time, and hell, probably a lot. Let's be honest. Um, but either way. So let's talk about this. So let's get that right out of the way off the bat. That this is clearly a sequel to the original Higurashi series, both of the original seasons, Higurashi and Kai. This is a sequel to those, um, which is really fascinating because at the end of Kai, it was solved, it was fixed. So it's like, how is it restarting? Because the time loop was stopped. How is it restarting here? That's the biggest question. And seeing the person who was behind it last time be back as well, it's like, oh, there's so many questions. Yeah, but as I said at the beginning of the reaction, when I first watched this with Rough Senpai, or when I started to at least, and I saw Hanyu at the beginning, it completely threw me off. Because as I said, Hanyu does not normally appear in the series, in the original series at least, until much later on. Um, it's actually quite a big deal with her character. I won't go into the huge details behind who she is, but it's a very big deal. She is a very important character. Um, Even if I'm not like I was never the biggest fan of her, but it's like her importance is undeniable. um, but yeah, I really enjoyed this episode. It didn't have as much spooky stuff as the first one. Like the first one, obviously, it started off with showing Keiichi chopping someone up. It wasn't really clear who he was killing there. As kind of like this either flash forward or based on what we saw in this episode, kind of a memory from another time loop. Um, but we saw that in the last episode. We had a lot of moments where the characters would suddenly turn really serious and creepy, and there was the talk about the person who was killed during the protests for the dam and everything. The first episode had a lot more creepy stuff happen in it. This one was much more story oriented, giving us hints of the bigger picture, showing Rika talking to Hanyu, mentioning that things have started again and that she wants to save everyone again. um, Showing Tomitake and the woman speaking together at the end. The festival, which again I don't think happened this early in the original series, um, in the original time loop, I guess you could say. So it's like there's a lot of stuff that's really being introduced, and obviously there's stuff that was fun silliness as well. The zombie game, continuing to get the Kentakun statue, all of that's like just fun silliness. And there was like a couple creepy moments, like when Reina was like holding the blade over Keiichi and was like about to bring it down and stuff. Yeah, there were definitely a few creepy moments, but not as many. They weren't as focused on with this one. I think they were more focused on with the first one because I think the first episode was still trying to hide the nature of the series. And from what I have read, that definitely seems to be the case because the true title of this series, Higurashi no Naku Koro ni Go, was not known at first. It was actually kept very secret. No one knew about it. Everyone was just calling this Higurashi no Naku Koro ni New or Higurashi no Naku Koro ni 2020 because they were expecting it to just be a normal remake, of course, but also because that's just what it was kind of advertised as. So the second episode introducing the Go aspect of the series and everything, introducing the fact that it's not just your normal remake, that it's actually a sequel, um, and so much else. It's just like they were very clearly trying to hide the true nature of the series, and they were successful. From everything I could see, no one knew that this was going to be like this. And I actually extremely appreciate that. The fact that not only were they able to actually keep this a secret in today's world where everything is leaked, let's be honest, everything is leaked. The fact that they were able to keep it a secret from everyone, and the fact that not only did they keep the secret, but the secret is actually this big and important to the series structure and just how it connects to the past and everything, the past series, that's a big deal. That's actually really impressive. The only kind of issue I can see coming from it is that some people probably did think this was a remake, and because of it, they probably they probably are going into this thinking that it's going to be like this the entire same story from the original told again when that's not the case. Oh. So some people are probably watching this thinking it's going to be like, "Oh, we can just watch this instead of the original because this is going to be better animated and stuff. So let's just watch this version instead." When it's not like that. So some people are probably going to end up being confused about it and probably are going to have to be told that this is not a remake, it's a sequel. It's a continuation. Um so that's interesting. That's unfortunate, but hey, I mean it gets people to watch the original and the original still holds up. Like the art and animation may not be as like technical high quality as stuff is today, but it still holds up. The story still holds up. The characters, everything has held up really well. Like again, I've watched it many times, and it's like it never felt old. No matter how many years after it originally came out, I did watch it. It never felt old. It never felt just uninteresting. Um, but yeah, this one definitely has just the different feel to it with just it being so unique in the way it was presented with between these first two episodes because these first two episodes feel different. the first episode feels like it would be the first episode of a remake. And people had said that it followed almost every story beat from the original first episode, that it was actually very similar with just a couple minute differences. So the fact that it did that, it's like not only did they use obviously marketing to hide the fact that this was a sequel rather than a remake, they also did that straight up with the episodes. Having the first episode be a remake of the first episode of the original series, yeah, that's going to throw people off. And even if the ending with Rika standing there with the glowy eyes was different, that's not going to be enough to make people like think like, oh, this may not be a remake after all. People aren't going to think that, with just the glowy eyed Rika. No. So it's like when the next episode starts off the way it does, it's like a huge just mind blow. Now, I do think that this series will be it'll explain enough to make it able to be viewed by a newcomer. I don't think newcomers will be just completely out of the loop, pun intended. Um, yeah, I don't think it'll like alienate newcomers at all, but for people who had seen the original series, I think it'll make more sense right off the bat, and it'll be a bigger deal. I think it'll just have this heavier impact on people who have seen it. Um, but yeah, everything otherwise is pretty much how you would expect it. The way the characters interact, the general story of what's going on in Hinamizawa is pretty much what you would expect. It's pretty much the same. The characters' personalities and everything. The art style upgrades I like personally. I can see how some people might find them a little jarring. But I think the true test is going to be seeing how they connect to the horror aspects. Because we've seen like little brief glimpses of that. But one of the biggest known things about Higurashi is the faces. The facial expressions are key with this series for sure. Because it's like it is literally the biggest known thing about the series, even from people who don't know the show. Everyone has, even if just scrolling along social media, has seen a Higurashi face. Whether it be Shion slash Mion, whether it be Reina or Rika or Satoko or Keiichi, they've seen some version of the Higurashi face. Even there's even been uh, images of that kind of face grafted onto other anime characters and stuff. It's almost as big at, in fact, I'd say it's bigger than the entire Excalibur face from Soul Calibur. Or Soul Calibur, god damn it. Soul Eater. Not Soul Calibur. Soul Calibur's a video game. The Excalibur face from Soul Eater. I'd say it's actually bigger than that because the Excalibur face was just a meme for a little bit, and it kind of faded out. Um, this was a lot more big in the anime community, the Higurashi face. So it's like, which isn't even a single facial expression. It's actually multiple expressions. It's just the style of it. Kind of like with Kakegurui, if you've ever seen like how their faces like will contort and go completely insane in Kakegurui. It's kind of the same concept. Um, but yeah, that's going to be the true test of this animation and art. If they can pull those kind of faces off. Because I feel like while it's not technically important to the story or the characters, it really sells the horror aspects of things. Um, it's just it's a big deal for the series. It just is. Let's leave it at that. Um, but yeah, overall, I'm very intrigued by this not remake sequel. I'm very intrigued by the sequel and how it's going to go. Again, like the biggest question right now is, of course, how? How did the time loop reset? How is this happening again? And can Best Girl stop it again? Because yes, Rika is Best Girl. Um, but yeah, I have so many questions that go along with this. I'm very excited to find out the answers. Um, I'll probably mention in one of these reactions, once I find out exactly how long the series is going to be, like if it's going to be like again 12 or 13 episodes, or if it's going to be 24 to 26 episodes or something like that. I'll probably bring that up. Um, but yeah, I'm very excited to get to more of this. I'm glad that I decided not to wait and rather instead opened a sixth slot. And hopefully this ends up being as good as the original, if not even possibly better. So tell me in the comments below what you thought of episode 2 of Higurashi no Naku Koro ni Go. Tell me your thoughts on the fact of this being a sequel. And have you seen the original? Have you seen the original series before? And if not, what do you think about this so far as a newcomer? Tell me your thoughts on all of that and more in the comments below, and thank you so much for tuning in. For now, I'm Connie, and I'm signing off. See y'all next time.